Times of Oman, 31st of March 2023, the war over undersea internet cables, the newest battlefield in U.S.-China technological cooperation. According to Jeff Pao in Asia Times, the deteriorating U.S.-China relations have moved on to the next front, the underwater cables transporting internet data signals between continents. After the two countries' conflict over semiconductor technology, Washington ensured that new cables would bypass Hong Kong and be free of Chinese investors and contractors. According to Asia Times, the Southeast Asia Middle East Western Europe 6, SEMI 6, internet cable will be built by the American undersea cable company SubCom LLC. Before SubCom recently started installing the Singapore to France cable to the seafloor, it was unknown how a former underwater cable division of Huawei Technologies, China's leading telecoms infrastructure provider, lost the bid. Jeff said the U.S. has interfered in at least 6 private undersea cable deals in the Asia-Pacific region over the past 4 years, either by urging cable investors to forego using Chinese contractors or requesting U.S. technology giants to reroute their new cables to Taiwan and Singapore and away from Hong Kong. According to a revelation by a UK-based publication, the U.S. government's interference led Huawei to abandon the project. The U.S. Department of Commerce then pressured the cable investors to select SubCom. According to Asia Times, 5 telecom businesses in the countries along the cable route received training grants totaling $3.8 million from the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, USDA. Using Malaysia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, the Maldives, India, Pakistan, Djibouti, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Greece, and Italy, the SEMI 6 is intended to connect Singapore with Marseille, France. The project is anticipated to be finished in the first quarter of 2025. According to Jeff, Huawei Marine was initially 50% owned by Huawei and 50% by Global Marine Group, a provider of submarine cable services with headquarters in the UK. The Shanghai-listed Hengtong Group, a Chinese manufacturer of fiber optic cables, acquired Huawei's entire investment in Huawei Marine when the U.S. imposed sanctions on the company in May 2019. Global Marine then received an additional 30% of Huawei's stake. Huawei Marine was added to the U.S. Bureau of Industry and Securities Entity List in August 2020. BIS. In November of the same year, it adopted the HMN moniker. An interagency committee, later known as Team Telecom, was established in April 2020 by an executive order signed by the U.S. President at the time, Donald Trump, to protect the nation's telecommunications networks from hackers and spies. Since then, Taiwan and Singapore have been requested as alternate destinations for the terminals of 4 cables that connect the U.S. to Hong Kong. According to Asia Times, U.S. internet companies like Google and Meta are involved in these programs. Early last month, 2 cargo ships, 2 fishing boats, and 2 Chinese civil ships maliciously cut 2 underwater cables in the Taiwan Strait, severely disrupting the internet for 14,000 residents on the Matsu Islands. According to Taipei, there is no proof that Beijing had given the go-ahead for an attack on the facilities. However, it seems probable that China attacked. According to Kenny Huang, CEO of the Taiwan Network Information Center, Taiwan's underwater cables could be assaulted when Beijing invades the self-governing island. According to Asia Times, he suggested that the Taiwanese government deploy low Earth orbit satellites to diversify the island's internet connections.